I've been thinking a lot lately about how important it is to have something that is just for you. Not for work, not for content, sometimes not even for self-improvement, just something that you truly enjoy doing, something that just sparks joy for you. If you're new here, hi, I'm Phylisha. I'm a Christian wife, homemaker, future mom, and seasoned entrepreneur. On my channel, I just document my journey through life, through all of the various seasons. Today, I'm sharing the hobbies that I'm loving right now and also why I believe that it's important for you to have a hobby as well. I've always been someone who enjoys learning new things, but a couple years ago, I hit this stretch of just burnout in my business specifically, and I found myself staying at home more, not really prioritizing doing things for myself just for the fun of it. It didn't have to do with business or having to generate income. My husband is also someone who really enjoys learning new things and always trying something different. He's also somebody that really prioritizes learning and just always having something fun to do or just something that he's exploring and that he's learning. One day he gently asked me, "What are your hobbies?" And I honestly didn't have an answer at that time, and I'm sure, got a little defensive because I didn't have any. I got so used to just business or spending time with family. Other than that, I was a homebody, which I still am to some degree, but I wasn't prioritizing doing things just for myself, just for fun. So I sat with that for a while and I decided that I wanted to get back into hobbies and trying different things. So I started back ballroom dancing. I had learned back in college, I started taking classes at this dance academy, but ballroom can get really expensive. Back in college, I didn't have the budget to commit to that full time. So I decided that that was a good place to start. That one decision made me realize just how good it felt to have something for myself. And that got me back into my love for hobbies. So fast forward to about a year and a half ago when I started my YouTube channel. I was doing cooking content at home, and then I was going out and visiting different places in the LA area. And that's when I discovered my love for my first hobby that I'm really enjoying right now, and that is baking. I really love to bake. I love sweets as well, so I think that naturally that just made sense. But I was always a person in the past that said that I didn't like to cook, that it was my preference to order out or to eat out. But in creating content and doing stuff for YouTube and just trying new things, I found that I really did like baking. And honestly, it was something that I was pretty good at. It's something that I definitely take pride in. And although recently I haven't been baking as much as I have in the past, especially because health-wise, I'm trying to work on cutting back on sugar. So I'm trying to find this balance of still doing something that I love, but also being mindful health-wise of what I'm putting into my body. And especially I'm trying to work at rebuilding my immune system. And I know sugar definitely does not help that. So right now I'm just in this recipe finding mode. Most of the content that I have been consuming lately is just recipes and just saving all these different things. So I do have some recipes that I plan to make soon. I really want to get into trying to make bread, especially because I feel like that's this happy medium of me still baking without it always having to be desserts. So I'm really excited to do that. I ordered some sourdough starter kits and all the accessories and everything that goes with that. The next hobby that I'm really enjoying right now is reading. And that's something that I've enjoyed doing for quite some time now. I love to learn new things. And it's also a hobby that in the past, at like high school, college, I used to say that I didn't enjoy reading. And I think that that was because back then we were just given books that we had to read, whether that was for a book report when I was younger or in college, it was just for the purpose of writing a paper. 9 times out of 10, it wasn't a book that I had any interest in at all. Whereas fast forward a couple of years after that, especially when I started my business, I started to read a lot more books on business and on personal development, self-improvement. And that's when I really, really found my love for reading. And it was to the point where I would be reading almost like a different book every week, especially when I would get in the zone and find some really good books that I liked. But I also found that I was almost consuming too much, especially when you're reading self-improvement or personal development books. I think that it's important to make sure that you're actually putting into practice whatever it is that you're learning. So I found that I was reading all of these books And yes, I was consuming a lot of information and learning new things, but I wasn't taking action on the things that I was learning. What good is it to have all of this knowledge and this information if you're not putting it to use? So I kind of slowed down after that and tried to be a lot more intentional about reading, especially those types of books. Right now, I really am just reading my Bible. That is the most important thing for me at this moment. So I do have a long list of books that I do want to read. I also have been sometimes going back and reading a few different pages or chapters from a book called Fascinating Womanhood that I've read before. But other than that, I am solely just reading my Bible. I've been doing the Read the Bible in a Year challenge or the plan on the Bible app. So every morning it will give me different chapters to read. So that is my primary book right now. The next hobby is one that is usually very surprising to most people when I share it. My husband and I have recently gotten into firearms training, and it has been so fun. We first started off with this free class at a local firearms store, and that instructor offers a wide range of paid courses. We had such a good time at that class that we decided to sign up for trainings with him. And it's a combination of classroom trainings for a couple hours, and then we'll go to the range for a couple of hours. It's really nice to have a hobby that I'm also doing at the same time with my husband. I realized that we had never been in a learning environment together. We went to high school together, but we didn't really know each other in high school. We didn't go to college together. We've never really taken classes together, so that was just a fun thing to be able to share. Now we watch all these different YouTube videos, even outside of class, and learn together. Even outside of just learning something new with my husband, just the whole firearm world in general is just really interesting. And at first I was even hesitant to share because I was like, well, I don't know, should I? I do find that when I share it with people that I know, they usually express that it's something that they've also always been interested in, especially for women and women I know who might live alone or just want to be able to protect themselves. It's something that they usually find really interesting and say that they've wanted to do it, but that they were still afraid at the same time. And I was there at one point too, but taking the classes has really helped to build my confidence to where I'm not afraid to just get in there and learn. I do like to try to stick to hobbies that don't require me to have to try to monetize it, or that also don't require me to have to be too competitive, because I am really competitive. And even with the firearms training, when we were at the local firearms store and we were talking to the guys behind the counter, I started to talk about how I am really competitive. And they started to tell me about different beginner competitions and how that would be really good to just add to the learning process in general, even if it's not something that we do long term. So then that sparked my interest in competitive shooting. Right now, we're starting with the basics, but we do plan to stay with our instructor for a long time. The last hobby that I'm loving right now, even though I know I said I try not to stick to things that require me to have to make money, but I've been really into day trading lately. It's something that my husband started doing around COVID. He tried to pull me in, he tried to get me into it, but I was so burnt out that I didn't have the capacity to really learn anything new or add anything else. And also, I just didn't quite understand it. Fast forward to now, he had sent me a TikTok of a girl who has a trading mentorship, and she's Christian, so that really sparked my interest as well. And I ended up joining her membership, and I like how she teaches almost like she's teaching to a kindergartner, and that is what I needed. That in combination with her just being more relatable, she's funny, she uses really good analogies, and it makes it a lot easier for me to retain the information. So that's something that I've really been enjoying lately. It's also helped me to be able to wake up earlier. So now I wake up around like 5 a.m. I do my devotion time, and then after that, I do the trading. And I would still consider a hobby, even though it's something that I do plan to make money from soon, but it's something that I'm learning. If you've been feeling stuck, burnt out, or like you just lost touch with yourself, this is your sign to start a hobby. It could be something new. It could be something that you really enjoyed in the past that you just stopped doing for whatever reason. Just start something. You don't have to be good at it. You don't have to feel like you're productive doing it. Just find something that is just for yourself, something that sparks your curiosity and that just truly brings you joy. I truly believe that hobbies are a form of self-care. They remind me that I am a whole person and that I'm more than just my business and that I'm more than just who I show up for others as. I would love to hear in the comments what hobbies you're into right now or a hobby that you've been wanting to try. This video is the beginning of a series on my channel called The Hobby Edit, where I will be trying new things. I love to collect hobbies. I have a long list of things that I want to try, whether that's ice skating, ballroom dancing, something that is fun, something that's just for me. And I encourage you to do the same. Thank you so much for watching this video. As always, I really appreciate it. And I will see you in the next video. Bye, guys.